All right, welcome back to the channel. Errol Spence says, "Bump all you O's." He don't care what none of his competitors have to say about who he's fighting next because of what he's gone through in the past at their hands. So let's talk about what Errol Spence Jr. has to say about who he's fighting, about his next fights, and what a lot of his critics in the welterweight division have to say. All right, what's good? It's your boy Fanon. We're back at it talking this boxing. Errol Spence Jr. is the WBC and IBF welterweight champion of the world and is, by all reasonable measures, I would say, the number one welterweight in the world. Now, that did not used to be the case. And around 2017 till about early 2018, Errol Spence Jr. was without a doubt one of the most avoided fighters in all of boxing. That was before he won his first championship against Kell Brook, and that was after he won his first championship against Kell Brook. Now, however, that Errol Spence Jr. has looked, a little more vulnerable in his last two fights. He went the distance against Mikey Garcia. He went the distance against Shawn Porter, and some people thought that the Shawn Porter fight was really, really close. I'm not one of them, but hey, man, there are people that are out there. So now that, and on top of that, he is the money man in the division. So people want to fight him. And as a result of them wanting to fight him, they're out there talking about he's ducking. Shawn Porter is behaving as if Errol Spence Jr. is ducking. Keith Thurman is acting like, he deserves a fight with Errol Spence Jr. Danny Garcia has a fight with Errol Spence Jr. You got your Danny's Ugas out there talking about he wants a fight with Errol Spence Jr. Of course, you have Terrence Crawford wanting to fight with Errol Spence Jr. But Errol Spence Jr. has a message for the lot of them, except for, I do believe, Terrence Crawford. And this is what Errol Spence Jr. had to say. Had to wait 9 months, then travel to a foreign land and fight a guy in his hometown to get in. Didn't complain not once. Then he follows up and finishes and says another thing. The WBC is cool with me taking a tune-up and my management. I don't want that shit. I leave that to Thurman and his get back year or whatever he said. So clearly, Errol Spence Jr. is agitated. Now, why does he say what he says? Now, is he making it up? Absolutely not. Shawn Porter ducked him, blatantly ducked him. Keith Thurman ducked him. Danny Garcia ducked him. Even Terrence Crawford, when he originally came to the welterweight division, talked about Keith Thurman as being the guy that he wanted to fight.
I mean, my thoughts been what it's been since I was 15-0 when I said, I'll fight Keith Thurman, anybody in the top 5. I mean, like he said, he gotta wait and get ready, and gotta go through rehab. But I'm ready when he is. And I'm always ready. So it don't matter if it's the first quarter or second quarter or if it's next year. I'm gonna be ready. I'm always ready to fight the best. I have a goal. I have a dream to be the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, and I'm not gonna let anybody stop me from that path. So, this is the fight that I've been wanting with Keith Thurman for the longest. So I mean. He's been making excuses, said that, I haven't proven myself and win a world title. That means staying active. I haven't been active as recently, due to waiting. I had to wait for my title defense and things like that. And then, I had a lot of guys, not answering the call. A lot of guys, Al's didn't call these guys saying they're not, reporters mentioned my name. They try to make an excuse, this and that. Okay, I have a belt now. I went over there and got the belt. So what's the excuse now? And I'm still calling it. I have a belt and I'm still calling these dudes out. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, all these guys. He won't be sitting here if Keith Thurman or Danny Garcia or Shawn Porter said they'll take the fight. You know, I shouldn't be a world champion having to call these dudes out. And Lamont Peterson answered the call like a real fighter and like a real soldier should do.
Have that belt at my house, and that's it. So when you talk about Errol Spence, I say sorry, but 3 years ago you wasn't the guy I was looking at. 2 years ago you wasn't the guy I fought. You're not the guy that has the WBC title, so you're just not the guy I want to fight. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. If you a media guy saying, oh, he ducking him, if you just a guy out there that's seeing the media saying, oh, he ducking him, I say, hey, it wasn't my goal 3 years ago to fight Errol Spence. It's not my goal a year ago to fight Errol Spence. Right now, I'm not fighting Errol Spence. Simple as that.
Those are their words. That's not Errol Spence Jr.'s words. Those are the actual fighters at the time. So clearly, during that time frame, and you heard it out of their mouths, they didn't want any part of them. So now here we go. We fast forward to now, and Errol Spence Jr. is the cash cow, and everybody says, hey, man, Errol Spence Jr. is ducking me. Errol Spence Jr. needs to fight me next, right? All of that is just, hey, man, it's what it is. Now, if these guys, on the other hand, now, the reason that I don't feel sorry for Keith Thurman, definitely don't feel sorry for Shawn Porter because he got his shot. And I don't feel sorry for Danny Garcia either because he's about to get his shot. But of the other fighters that are out there, I can understand from your Danny's Ugas, feeling like somebody needs to get him a shot at a championship. He probably feels like he should be the WBC welterweight champion because of the fight that he had with Shawn Porter, right? But the fact of the matter is, man, Errol Spence Jr. is right about this. Errol Spence Jr. has done everything that he needs to do to be considered the number one guy in the welterweight division, and there has not been a time where he has not fought the top competition. So I'm not buying the fact that they say that he's ducking him. Like Shawn Porter, I can understand where Shawn Porter's coming from. Shawn Porter feels like he won the first fight and that now everything is lined up for Errol Spence Jr. to fight a whole bunch of people other than him, and that his shot might be gone. And hey, man, Shawn Porter is probably right. Shawn Porter is a guy that has had the IBF belt. Now, this is a thing about Shawn Porter ducking. Shawn Porter, when he originally won the welterweight championship, he originally won the IBF belt. The IBF belt. He lost the IBF belt to Kell Brook. And instead of trying to fight for the IBF belt, once Errol Spence Jr. won the IBF belt back off of Kell Brook, Shawn Porter started talking as if the most important belt in his life was the WBC and not the IBF. And on top of it, if you recall, he not only ducked him then, when Errol Spence Jr. First won the IBF title, when Shawn Porter first won the WBC title and Errol Spence Jr. was trying to make a fight with him, he got in the ring with Shawn Porter, asking for Shawn Porter to make that fight next. And Shawn Porter went straight Hollywood on him. Straight Hollywood. Well, I don't know. It's not up to me. It's going to be up to the next, to my team, or, if it doesn't happen, if that fight doesn't happen next, it's not me. Remember all that stuff when he actually got out there in the middle of the ring when Errol Spence Jr., who again was the IBF champion, calling for a unification fight, went into the ring with Shawn Porter, asked Shawn Porter for the fight. Shawn Porter says, yeah, why not? When he's in front of in front of the crowd of people. But when it was time, when he went back to the press conference, all of that energy just dissipated. It was, hey, if it's not me, if we don't fight next, it won't be me. So I say all that to say that Shawn Porter had a chance to fight Errol Spence Jr. Earlier, before he won the belt. He had a chance to win it, to fight him after he had the belt, and he bounced out of both of those opportunities. So there's nothing. I mean, the fact that Errol Spence Jr. got the fight with Shawn Porter, I can understand how in the back of Errol Spence Jr.'s mind that he felt like that's all he needed to do because he had to hunt down Shawn Porter. And now Errol Spence Jr. is not in the mood to hold up his career to go back and fight Shawn Porter again. And hey, man, that's on Shawn Porter. That's a case of the chickens coming home to roost. Shawn Porter absolutely positively thought that he was the man and that, he had the WBC belt. He was looking for, I think what he said, matter of fact, we played it I think we played it earlier in the video talking about, you weren't the guy that I was looking for 3 years ago. You weren't the guy that I was looking for 2 years ago. So, hey, you're not the guy that I'm looking for now. Well, times change. Keith Thurman and his massive injuries, Errol Spence Jr. said it in the tweet. Hey, talked about his comeback year. I think that's what he referred to, his get back year, right? That was one of the excuses that Keith Thurman used for not fighting Errol Spence Jr. when he first came out. But who did he decide to fight? He decided to fight Manny Pacquiao. So that again was on him. Another opportunity that Keith Thurman had to have a unification fight, right? Shawn Porter had an opportunity for a unification fight originally, and he turned him down and made him wait. Keith Thurman had an opportunity to have a unification fight with Errol Spence Jr. He turned him down and went and fought Manny Pacquiao and lost. That's on him. The only dude that is really clear as far as the major welterweights of not ducking Errol Spence Jr. at one point in time or another is probably Yordenis Ugas and Terrence Crawford, because shoot, Manny Pacquiao got a duck Errol Spence Jr. episode in his career. So look, man, if I can understand from a young fighter who might be moving in, say like a Virgil Ortiz or a Jaron Ennis feeling as if Errol Spence Jr. needs to give them a shot. But the guys that rejected Errol Spence Jr. and made him go all the way over there to the UK to get that belt, nah, they ain't got much to say. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.